Hey guys, hey! So I'm coming to you with some tips on becoming a beginner at the gym and how to kind of acclimate yourself into going to the gym a couple times a week. And hopefully you guys will really enjoy that. But the first thing I really wanted to talk about was a comment that I got this morning on my last vlog and has since been removed because I always remove the negative ones, so there's no fighting in the comments because I don't like that. This person decided to tell me, and I don't know why, that their honest opinion is they don't appreciate my sense of humor and that I'm obviously not a comedian and that her and I, or him and I, don't have the same, the same sense of humor or whatever. Like, we don't share the same kind of humor. That's what it was. We don't share the same kind of humor, and they know funny. So I was just gonna, just real quick, I'm gonna come a little closer because I want to make sure you hear me really well. A little closer? Can you hear me better? What? Oh, what? Closer? Okay. I don't care. Nope. Okay. So anyway, let's see. What I came here to actually talk about is that I started off going to LA Fitness at 523 pounds in a wheelchair. And some of you have asked me for my backstory. This will go kind of, sort of, maybe a little bit into a backstory. Let me start off with explaining that I was in a car wreck and I was bedbound for over a year, and it caused me, I was already ridiculously overweight. I was already like 350 pounds when this started happening, and I went to 4. And easily from 4, I went to 450. And then I kind of hung out at like 450, 480, 490 for years. Like, I just kind of wafted in and out of that. It wasn't until Matthew went into the military and the stress of me moving cross country and him going in the military, and I just ballooned up. So I don't know exactly how much I weighed, because the last time before I really got my shit together, the place at the doctor's office and at the gym, both of them said error when I got on. So that tells me, because both of them were, my doctor's office only went up to 550, and the one at the gym, I don't remember. So I think maybe 550 as well, or maybe that one was 500, because it didn't really start recording me until I had dropped a shit ton of weight, so I'm not real sure. I know at the doctor's office it was 550, but since I only tried that once, I always just say what's recorded at the doctor's office, which is the last time they could actually check me, which was 523. So I'm not really too terribly sure how big I got at the very beginning of all this, but hey, weight is weight, and it was super unhealthy, and I was miserable. So yeah, so I got me some coffee. Let's dish. All right, so as I started gaining weight, since I was little, I've always been a big kid. I was always fat. I was always roly-poly. There was no, oh, you're cute and chunky. It was just like, what the hell happened to your kid? Like, it was just a big girl. I've always been a very big girl. So when I started having back problems, was probably around 350. I was working in a hotel kitchen. I was right out of Job Corps. I started having like problems with my back, and then the car wreck happened, and then like my life just turned into a big pile of doo-doo-caca pee-pee. So I was just not having it. There's so much for me to talk about. It's hard to kind of just corral myself into like, all right, anyway. So after I met Matthew, I was in a full-time wheelchair, and he tried his best. He tried his best to get me up and walking some, and the pressure on my spine was just way too much. And I have bursitis in both of my hips, and I have osteoarthritis in both of my knees. So I have a lot of joint pain, and the bigger I was, the worse it was. Like, to roll over in bed, just a small example, just to roll over in bed was god awful. It was terrible. Sometimes he would have to come over to the side that I needed to roll over on, give me his hand, and we would both pull. And I would scream the entire time because it was just too painful. So, ow. So, I'm trying to give you guys an idea of what I was capable of before I started trying to get healthy. Standing up for more than like 3 minutes at the very, very most was excruciating. My legs would shake, my back would start to give out, and then my knees would start buckling. I can't tell you how many times, I would be brave and I would stand up and I would try to go to the bathroom by myself or try to get down the stairs, and I would fall. So, yeah. So that's pretty much what happened. All right. So now we'll start drifting into the rest of the story. This might be quite long, and I'm sorry, guys. So now then, what was I going to say? All right. So what I was going to say is that the first thing I want to tell you guys is, I started going into LA Fitness, and LA Fitness has a pretty decent standard of people, at least where I was at. But I would go so early in the morning, most of the old people were in there. I never went late at night where prime time. I never went late at night. Never. Ouch. So my first tip for you guys is, if you're really super worried about people looking at you, going to an Anytime Fitness or something that's open 24 hours a day. Peak time is usually when people get right off of work or during lunch. So those are peak time. What I would suggest, which is sometimes what most people are comfortable with, is going super early in the morning or going super late at night, because there's bound to be a lot less people, unless it's on the weekend, around 8 o'clock in the morning when classes and stuff start. Sometimes there's a lot of people in there, but definitely most people try to go right after work. So 5 to like 9 is usually pretty packed. So I would stay away from 5 o'clock to like 9 o'clock in the evening, unless you're taking a water class or something like that, which most of them are like 6:30, So the thing about that is, if you are severely obese, and when I say severely obese, I mean if you are the 400, 500, 600s, and you're not able to stand, you're not able to walk very long, you're scared, I would suggest the pool first. It made a ridiculous difference in how I felt, and it started giving me strength. I lost 76 pounds doing that and Weight Watchers. I had stalled right about the time I went on my liquid diet for 5 weeks. So I barely lost anything on my liquid diet. I lost like 18 pounds of it on the liquid diet, but everything else I lost doing Weight Watchers, and I did the point system, and I had 35 points a day. That's what I was eating at that point in time. 35 points a day. And yeah, so that's the first thing I'm going to tell you about. The second thing is, if you're going to go to the gym, and you're worried about people staring at you, don't. It really doesn't matter. You are, and I'm not being mean, but you're insignificant to other people. Like, you think that, the world is all staring at you and all jeering, and, everybody thinks you're disgusting and horrible and messy and gross, and the honest truth is you're insignificant. The only person that is worried about you is you. And the only person you're hurting by not going to the gym is you. So take this from somebody who has horrible social anxiety and panic attacks and PTSD and, agoraphobia. So for me to even tell you that the world isn't out to get me when I go to the gym, that's a big ass step. Girl. I know I got to get my nails filled. I told you I'd do it on Friday. So anyway. So that's the first thing I'll tell you. Do the classes in the pool. They are awesome. I stayed usually about 4 to 5 hours a day, 6 days a week. I usually did the morning 8 o'clock class, and sometimes I would stay to the noon class. So I would do 3 or 4 hours in the pool, walking, weights, anything that I could do, because I wanted to have my RNY that badly, and my doctors wouldn't do it until I got closer to 450. So yeah, I worked my little heart out. So the next tip, and don't worry about what other people are thinking about you, because they are so busy with what they're trying to get done so they can go home. They don't really care. I mean, I've said this like 50 times, and I guess, and it's the truth. People will look, because we're humans. We scan. Like, we look, oh, and then you're out of their mind. Like, that's it. Like, they're not like, it's not high school. You're not seeing these people every day, and they're not busy. High school kids are not busy, so that's all they've got to do with themselves is talk shit. So these people are in the gym trying to get their shit done because they want to go home. Working out sucks. So, like, you think the person who, has got bitch face, sorry, that squirrel. So you think somebody who's got, resting bitch face in the middle of their squats or whatever are, looking at you, and they may be thinking about the tacos they're going to go have at, the Jack in the Box, or, they're going to have Taco Bell, and they're like, oh, fuck, I'm going to have Taco Bell. They're not even paying attention to you. You worry about you, and they'll worry about them. So that's the second thing I wanted to tell you guys. Like, I have been in like 7 or 8 different gyms, and it's the consensus over and over and over and over again. People watch you come in every day, and you will get people to talk to you and will be like, I see how hard you're working. Congratulations, you're doing awesome. Or how much have you lost? Or do you need help? Like, do you need help is very often. If somebody sees you working out on something incorrectly, they'll and you've been there for a while, they will help you. And never be afraid to ask somebody for help for something if you don't know how something works. Either a trainer or, most bigwig gyms have trainers anyway, and you can usually get one free session. I would use that one free session to not only measure you, have them measure every part of you, because you can have somebody else do that later and you can see your results. But I would have them show you all of the machines that you think you're going to be interested in, instead of, because they're going to try to high pressure sales you into buying trainering, sure. Which isn't a bad thing, but if you have that kind of money, definitely do it. But I don't have that kind of money. So, and it's usually like 50 to 30. I think it's like from 30 to like $60 a session for like an hour. I couldn't afford it. So, but being said, take classes if you are able to, and the classes are free at your gym. Nobody in that class cares about you. They are busy trying to get their own shit done. I keep trying to tell you guys this. I'm going to drill it into your head. Nobody cares what you're doing as long as you're getting your shit done. As long as you're not holding up the class, as long as you're working out and trying and doing everything that you can, nobody should give a shit what you're doing. Nobody. like I said, people see me do the classes, and, they'll come up to me after the class and be like, yeah, you kicked ass. Wow, that's awesome. Blah, blah. And that's cool. The next thing I could tell you guys is that buy some cute clothes. Like, you will feel better working out in cute clothes. Old Navy goes up to like a 3 or 4X on their website. I know damn well Tord goes up to a 5X on their website. And Tord's 5Xs are like 6Xs. They're huge. Women Within, Lane Bryant, like all these places have that super plus size shit that I was not available when I was bigger. Notice I say bigger. So, I mean, buy yourself some cute ass clothes. Go on clearance, rack up on clearance items. That's I'm telling you. Dressing yourself will make you feel better and more confident than coming in there with a holy ass t-shirt like I used to do and a pair of cut off pants, khaki pants, because that's all I had. That's all I had. And I needed a bathing suit so big that I had it specially made. So that's not the case anymore. Over the past 3 years, clothes have been, the bigger clothes are a lot nicer. So that's another thing I'm telling you guys. Dress yourselves cute to go to the gym. Get a decent bathing suit. Get a nice bathing suit. Go to the thrift stores. God almighty, go to the thrift stores. All day long, go to the thrift stores. Because you will be surprised what you can find there. There are several places on Facebook, and I'm sure Craigslist and stuff like that, people selling their big girl clothes. People, who have lost a lot of weight are like, oh, well, I don't need these anymore. I'm going to sell them for meh. Or you'll find somebody just to pay it forward and just give it out. Like I do mine. Like I give my stuff to the homeless or somebody around here who just had surgery, or, I give the clothes away. So you pay it forward. People give me clothes, I give people clothes. So, I mean, that's just what you do. That's what you do. Another thing that I think is like one of the most important things ever is that don't be afraid to try new machines. Usually, Google is your best friend. Well, who's your best friend? Google. Who's your best friend? Google. So, you have Google. You can put in the name of any damn machine in there. You could take a picture of it and start scrolling through shit. You can ask somebody, what's this machine? And they'll be like, or they'll tell you what the machine is. You can also look at like the brand name and then search the brand name on Google, and then it'll tell you exactly what the machine is, and it'll give you step-by-step instructions on how to use it. Some of them, like a lot of the weight machines and stuff, already have pictures on it. So you can see, start slow. Start slow. Slower than that. Yes, so even slower. It is so important for you to understand proper nutrition. It's super important for you to understand that you cannot start squatting 50 pounds right off the bat. So, you need to understand form if you're going to weight lift. You're going to need to understand how much weight you need to start off with, because the biggest mistakes you're going to have, and the easiest way to hurt yourself, is to go in there, puff up your chest and be like, oh, well, this doesn't look hard, so I'm going to put, 100 pounds, and then you throw out, you rip your rotator cuff, or you snap your spine. That's a little extreme. That escalated quickly. But, you don't want to hurt yourself. So start slow. Please start slow. And just because you watch somebody, i.e. me, do 35 pounds, 40 pounds, 50 pounds, 270 pounds with the leg press doesn't mean that you can do that, because I have been at this for years now. I have been gradually doing this shit for years. And just because, and I'm throwing this out here because I've heard it 1,000 times already. Do not compare your journey with someone else's journey. Do not compare yourself with someone else's journey. If you see somebody on the elliptical and they've been there for an hour, and I mean they're going full speed, does not mean that you need to go full speed. You probably don't. One step at a time. One step at a time. Start off with 5 minutes. If you can do 5 minutes, awesome. If you want to shoot for 6 minutes, hell yeah. If you want to shoot for 10 minutes, make that goal in your head and do as much as you possibly can, but don't do it to the point that you feel pain or you feel faint or you feel sick. If you feel any three of those things, get off of whatever you're doing and stop, because you're only going to hurt yourself. You're only setting yourself back. Start off with the 3-pound weights. Okay, if you think you can do 5s, go for 5s, but it's not how much you're lifting, it's the amount of reps. And it also depends on what you're wanting to do. Are you wanting to build? Are you wanting to tone? Are you wanting just to do cardio? Like, it really just depends on what you're wanting to do at the gym. So having said that, you want to start off with a couple minutes at a time. And then each time you go in that week, if you want to up it up another minute or two, go for it. As long as you're comfortable, as long as you're feeling good, as long as you're not too sore. Now, the next thing I'm going to teach you about is that you need rest days. A lot of people like to take 2 days in a row. I'm not much for that, and it really depends on what I was doing the day or two before. If I'm still super sore and I don't want to go, then I won't. But usually I like to go 2 days and off a day. I like to go 2 or 3 days and then I'm off a day. Because it kind of throws me out of my groove. If I, don't throw off his groove. Emperor's Groove, love that movie. What the hell? Yeah, I don't like being out of the gym more than 1 day at a time, because it kind of just throws me off. So, but you must have at least 2 rest days a week, at least at first. You need to give your body plenty of time to rest and relax. And if you're just beginning and you're super duper hurting, sometimes working out to get that lactic acid out of your muscles is a good thing. So doing a little bit of cardio, lots of stretching, can definitely help. Another thing I would suggest is that, I was going to say something and then Super Squirrel came into the head. Super Squirrel! Come on, Nirvana. I had a point to make. Dang it, man. What was I talking about a second ago? I totally lost complete thought. Going to the gym. I don't really know. Well, crap. It'll come to me as soon as I turn off this video and I'll be like, dang it! So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say for right now. And then if you need another video, I will do so. I will also say, make sure that you're getting the proper protein, the proper hydration, and the proper amount of carbs to fuel your body. You want to make sure that you don't feel faint ever, and that you're not dizzy because you're not drinking enough. And for God's sake, don't drink soda and stuff right before or right after. Fuel your body with some healthy, good stuff. All right, guys, it's been 24 minutes of me not shutting my, of talking about random BS. Not shutting my mouth. I don't know why I was going to say that. But I love your beautiful, gorgeous, amazing faces, and I hope everybody's having a good, it's Thursday. So I hope you guys' weekend will be awesome. My mother-in-law will be here tomorrow. Oh my God. And yeah, so I will talk to you soon. Bye.